I promise, I promise that this will be the last Criterion Blu-ray unboxing video for a while, because this upcoming week, around the beginning of September, Macy's Sprayed Balloon Season 3 will begin. But before we get to that, and this day would have been the Little League World Series Championship if it wasn't for what's going on right now. But I will like to say that this is, of course, another Criterion Collection Blu-ray unboxing, and I have decided instead of for the Criterion Collection, I had decided to just name them as Criterion Collection Blu-ray Unboxing instead of just Blu-ray Collection Unboxing, Criterion Collection Volume whatsoever. So, you get the idea. So, there would be, if it was, I did it from Shout Factory or Warner Archive or just regular ones, but you get the idea. But this is, of course, another episode of the Criterion Collection Blu-ray Unboxing. And once again, these are what would have been potential, kind of like Oscar bait movies, if you really think about it. What I think about it, if they were potentially, they could have been Oscar nominees if it was based on, the director that has been previously nominated, previously won, or the film was kind of being talked about. Some people did have it in their Best of the Year list. But this is, what could have been potentially, and we only have 3 again this time. So yeah, it's been a while since we have 3, but we do have 2 returnees in this collection, but I also have 1 notable director as well. And I kind of unboxed it already a bit earlier because it's raining outside, so I decided just to get it. And starting this up, we have what is my 4th Wes Anderson movie on the Criterion Collection, Spy Number 300, I'm surprised about that, from 2004, The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. Now, I have, from the previous collection video, I had looked upon what could have been potential Oscar movies from this past decade. And then, for the next round, I did throughout the 2000s, and only 3 of them managed to get through. If I can open this. Particularly, there is 2 Wes Anderson, actually 3 Wes Anderson movies, I ruined the sticker, of the 2000s, but I don't keep the sticker anyway. One of them, of course, obviously Fantastic Mr. Fox was an Oscar nominee, but I'm not planning to get that. And the other was The Dearshing Limited, which, honestly, might be my least favorite Wes Anderson movie I've seen. I only have, 2 movies left from him that are in this collection, and from his filmography, which are Bottle Rocket and Rushmore, which I've not seen yet. And, some people do also consider this one of his weakest movies, but, I did enjoy it. And one of the most unique things about The Life Aquatic with, Steve Zissou, so this is the only thing you get? Okay. Because usually with a Wes Anderson Blu-ray Criterion one, you usually get something unique, but probably not for this one, unfortunately. But the most unique thing about The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou is that this is the only Wes Anderson movie that Bill Murray is the main star of the film so far in entirety. This is the only film where he's the main star, because for the past few, he's either a supporting character or makes a cameo, like The Dearshing Limited, for an example. But no, this is a movie where he legit is the main star. And you do have some of the typical people, like Owen Wilson and Angelica Houston, and I believe, where is it? The cast list. Jeff Goldblum's in it, Willem Dafoe, but you also have Cate Blanchett, who's in this one as well. Obviously, you do got a couple of notable people, but obviously, and also, another thing is that this movie also comes with some stop-motion animation effects of the creatures done by, Henry Selick, who, of course, was the director of The Nightmare Before Christmas, even though that's more of Tim Burton's movie, Monkey Bone, and, of course, Leica's first featured film, Coraline. And he did the animation directing for The Life Aquatic of Steve Zissou, and was supposed to direct Fantastic Mr. Fox, but then he went to go work on Coraline. Definitely unique. It's definitely like all the other older Wes Anderson movies, like The Royal Tenenbaums and even some of the others where they have this unique cartoonish art style, and definitely do enjoy this one as well. So I know some people consider this maybe his weakest one, but for me right now it's The Urging Limited. Once I get to what could be the potential Oscar movies of the 1990s, when I will see if they would join the ranks with those two. But I know guaranteed the next thing that will be coming up on the list that I would definitely be getting is The Irishman, because finally that's coming out in November. So Steve Zissou, interesting adventurer, I must say. Alright, we have our second returning director, and that is Guillermo del Toro. And it's spy number 666 from 2001, The Devil's Backbone. Yes, this is his gothic horror movie. And I was very interested to see what this was. I am not a big horror movie guy, because right now at my age, but obviously I have seen Get Out and The Silence of the Lambs. But like The Silence of the Lambs, this film feels more like a thriller than an actual horror movie. But yeah, there is one jump scare in particular in this movie, but the rest of it does really work well. A unique story about this boy, just going into this, what is it, like an orphanage or like some sort of school, I would say, but, and, like, there's this unique, ghost that's going around of a former place who, died. That's not really spoiler, because that's in the beginning of the film, and he's a ghost, and he's looking for revenge. I don't think there is no notable actors in this film. I'm gonna guess. Yeah, there is no notable people in this movie, but Del Toro is, of course, the director of the film. Oh, Pedro Almodovar was a producer in this film? I did not know that. Yeah, of course, Del Toro written it, but definitely visually unique. I don't know if I previously said this with Pan's Labyrinth, I think I did, but just for those who have not seen that, I know there is that Guillermo del Toro trilogy set, which would come with this Pan's Labyrinth, and I believe, I don't know which one of his 90s films, but obviously you would think I would get that, but the Blu-ray is out of print, set is out of print, so, but I don't really mind just getting an old physical copy of this. Like, definitely, like, The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, where it has a unique art style with Wes Anderson, this has a unique art style with Del Toro, with this and Pan's Labyrinth. It's just like, like blood coming out of his head. I don't want to give too much away, because it is another great film from Del Toro. Like, this is only my third film I've seen from him, and definitely another great one. And I'm very curious to see what Del Toro is going to do with this animated Pinocchio movie, which is coming out on Netflix in the beginning of next year. It may be contentious for animated season, the animated feature race for next year, if they do qualify it. Because there is that Oscar ruling where now movies that are released in January and February of 2021 could be eligible since the show was postponed. But, of course, now with movie theaters kind of opening right now, but we might go back to lockdown after the Labor Day weekend since the school year is about to come. But Tenet is going to make that attempt, so let's see how that does. And New Mutants finally has come out, but right now, like, getting older movies on Blu-ray is just unique, to say the least. I think I just repeat what I just said, but that's how you get when you repeat a lot of things that kind of annoys you sometimes. And finally, of another notable director, is actually Paul Thomas Anderson. And I believe, if I'm correct, this is his only film that is in the Criterion Collection so far. And that is spy number 843 from 2002, PunchDrunk Love. Yes, this is right. This is the black comedy drama starring Adam Sandler and Emily Watson. And I was kind of very curious going into this, because this is like another big role. Many people do consider this to be one of Adam Sandler's best performances before Uncut Gems. And it makes me curious, after seeing this, I might want to think about watching Uncut Gems, but if I do think about it. But I wasn't a big fan of Phantom Thread, which was my first PTA experience, and this is only my second one. that I've seen, and this is really good. I know some critics, I think they were mixed or okay with the film, but definitely one of Adam Sandler's finest performance. And the fact that it's a black comedy drama, like, it works. Like, instead of having Sandler being, like, your typical writer or director, well, writer or producer specifically, if you don't have him being a writer or producer for any of the movies he's starring in, and just have him be the main star without him being involved with the production crew, it might work. Like this, I know the Meyerowitz story's new in Select, and of course Uncut Gems recently. And I was very surprised how this is really kind of a little bit, there are some funny moments and there is some serious moments. Sandler's great, Emily Watson's also great in it. You do have Philip Seymour Hoffman in here as well. Obviously, Paul Thomas Anderson written, directed it, and produced it with Joanne Seller and Daniel Lupi. And Leslie Jones is the editor. Mark Bridges is the costume designer. John Brennan did fantastic with the score here. The music was so good. And also, the ending shot is actually the cover of the Blu-ray, if you're just curious. And it's one of the most unique, interesting movie couples you've ever seen from a very small movie like this. Of Adam Sandler and Emily Watson would not make sense in mainstream, but apparently it does work with this. And I'm very curious because I really did have a great time watching this. And that's kind of basically it. I know, like I said, unlike the previous episode where it was kind of fast because there were some things I had to do, unlike this one, I managed to kind of speak a little bit because I know a little bit more information. And it's very weird because I do not have my laptop with me. Because since I know what these three films are a lot, since I know what the directors and the crews are, it was kind of easier for me instead of like having the laptop in front of me, because they're not really non-Oscar movies, but they all could have been potentially. So probably whenever the next one will be, but won't be for a while, like I said, because season 3 will begin. I'll probably go into what could be potentially a Oscar-nominated movies from the 1990s. There are many. Like I mentioned with Wes Anderson, there are his first 2 films. I know Del Toro has one. I know there's, I believe, The Game from David Fincher. I know another from Pedro Almodovar. I know there's a couple still from the Whit Stidman trilogy. I've seen Metropolitan, but I have not seen Barcelona, The Last Days of Disco yet, if I want the entire set or not. And of course, I can't wait for The Irishman to come out in November. So with that being said, this kind of little series will take a little bit of break. If you have seen any of these 3 films, let me know down in the comments below. I know it won't be impossible because some of these, I believe a lot of these are rated, all these are rated R films, so kids can't watch this. But if you are old enough to see these, let me know what you think in the comments below. And like I said, starting this upcoming weekend when we begin September, Season 3 will begin.